Hello, this is Paul Swider. Today we're broadcasting out of the Boston area, and we're excited to be here. It's our bi-weekly edition of the Boston Healthcare Technology User Group. So as I like to say, we're a local group with global reach. And first, let's go over just a couple of quick slides. I don't even see the slides. It's confusing. We have a mission statement. There it is. Okay. I knew there were slides involved here someplace. So anyway, so great stuff. So yeah, so Paul Swider, we're broadcasting out of Boston. This is Boston Healthcare Technology User Group. And we have a mission statement. This is really complex. I feel like this is the first time I've ever done a presentation because I can't figure out how to move to the next PowerPoint slide. Am I supposed to click or something? Okay, great, thanks. Okay, so mission. So we do have a mission. So we're based out of Boston. The idea is that we've started this local group. You know, I like to say we have a global reach, and our goal is to deliver world-class speakers and talk about healthcare technology. We try to do this as often as possible. As a matter of fact, we've taken some big steps in the past couple of weeks. As part of the reason why I'm discombobulated is we've actually started using Restream, which allows us to broadcast to YouTube, through Facebook groups. We're going out to Twitter soon as well. And so we're really excited because the group and our reach is it's continuing to grow. And so next slide. So we do have a mailing list. One thing to note is that the content, so the PowerPoint slides, as well as a link to the mailing list, you can get those either from the YouTube channel. So if you're watching this stream on YouTube, just go into the description. There's a link in there for the mailing list, as well as for our Discord healthcare technology community as well. If you actually go into the Discord healthcare technology Discord server, you can actually download the PowerPoint slides and get extra information about today's session. Thanks. And so with that said, I'd like to start to introduce our speaker today, Jorge. Jorge is joining us from, I just learned, is based out of Mexico. And so Jorge, can you tell me just a little bit about yourself before we start the presentation? For example, I forgot to ask you earlier, are you in university now? How did you get involved with the Student Ambassador program? Maybe you could just tell us a little bit about how you got involved with this program.
Okay, of course. First, let me introduce myself.
Please.
I'm Jorge Enrique Cortez San Lazaro. I'm 22 years old. And yeah, I'm currently studying industrial robotic engineering at in Instituto Politécnico Nacional, at the Instituto Politécnico Nacional in Mexico, in Mexico City. So, telling about this community, this great community that is the Microsoft Learning Student Ambassadors, I got involved on the last June. Yeah, July, I think.
Nice.
Yes, July. And this Microsoft Learning Students Ambassador, it's a great opportunity for all the students, the university students, the bachelor degree students. So Microsoft Learning Students is a great opportunity, a global community where.
And I don't think that's really how we met, right? Because Diana made the first introduction, and I think she had, I think, met you through this Student Ambassador program. So it's fair to say I probably, we probably wouldn't have met each other and have you for this great presentation if it wasn't for that program.
Yeah.
It is also interesting. So I didn't realize that you're actually you're embedded in the robotics program at your university. That's very impressive. I think it's very impressive. From my perspective, I'm a lot older. I won't say my age, but I'm older, and I've spent a lot of time over the past decade or so working with stuff like cloud technologies and Microsoft Azure and these business software. I think of it as business software. But now at this point in my career, I really get inspired by some of this new technology in, robotics is one. I also really like decentralization, general AI. These topics really excite me. And that's why I was so happy when I saw your proposed session. I was like, absolutely, we have to have Jorge come do this presentation for us.
It's
So
it's so interesting. Those topics like
yeah.
big datum, like robotics, like artificial intelligence, and there's are some technologies that are in our present.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's fascinating, and I'm excited to hear your presentation. And so one last time, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. It means a lot to me. And, I actually hope you'll come back. I'm already going to say that now without even seeing your presentation.
thank you very much.
And, with that said, I'll turn I'll put you up on the stage now. So why don't you go ahead and give us your presentation? Thank you again so much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the Boston Healthcare Technology User Group for this invitation to this session. And let's start with the session. The session is titled "Can a Robot Save Your Life?" Well, I I am as a robotic engineer, I'm passionate how robotics are being applied to some areas such as the industrial processes, the painting processes, the welding processes, the assembly processes. So in this way, we can say that the robotics are helping, are also contributing to the medical sector or to the healthcare area. For example, with this session, can a robot save your life? Robotics applied to minimally invasive surgery. For their initial letters, MIS. So let's start. What is MIS? Well, MIS is a surgical procedure that is performed through tiny incisions instead of a large opening. The surgeon will make several small incisions on your skin, you as a patient. Okay, these small incisions are typically a few millimeters long. Because of that, because your surgeon will make the incisions on the skin, you will have a quick recovery time and less pain compared with the traditional surgery. Nowadays we have some thinkings. For example, we have the design thinking on the engineering area. So now we're gonna have the MIS thinking. The MIS thinking follows the paradox of postmodern surgery. This paradox is commanded by small incisions, by the equation that says small incisions equals to big surgeries. This is the beautiful paradox of postmodern surgery. Something small equals to something big that is the surgery by the doctors. Now we're gonna compare the MIS versus the traditional surgery. As a first point, we have that ischemia is not needed during the process. What is ischemia? Well, the ischemia is the surgical process where the doctor keeps away the blood of the surgical area of the working area. So as a second point, we have that the MIS doesn't leave a scar. And as a third point, we have that the no damage to superficial layers of skin. This third point goes in hand with the second point. If the doctor doesn't damage to superficial layers of skin, well, the body will not leave a scar, any scar on the skin. Next to this, we have the robotic surgery. Which technologies are being applied to the surgery, to this robotic surgery? Summarizing, we have the big data, the artificial intelligence, the technology of mixed reality, and finally, the robotics technology. we're gonna go with the big data. It is considered that the 96% of the information in general is stored in a computerized form. So with this, we have a fact that in 2013, 153 exabytes were produced, and it is estimated that the information generation will exceed the 2,314 exabytes. Uh, so as we can see, the big atom had an underground of 48% and a ground at exponential speed. For example, we have in this diapositive uh, the data set for cementation of robot surgical instrumentation. And on the left side, we have a picture where shows the grippers of our robotic arms. On the right side, we have a mesh that shows how data set helps to the robot to identify some surgical instrumentation. For example, the bipolar forceps, the Programs forceps, the large needle driver, the vessel sealer, and the monopolar curve scissors. These are some examples of surgical instrumentation. Now we go with the part of artificial intelligence, AI for their initial letters. The AI code has to understand the surgical workflow into perspective. The first perspective is the long-term analysis that the AI code has to understand the surgical workflow as a whole process, taking surgical phases and surgical steps. The second perspective is the short-term analysis. This short-term analysis, well, the AI code um, identifies the instrumentation type, the instrumentation location, and the technique actions in every framework. So the AI code takes a framework and analyzes to get the instrumentation type, the instrumentation location, the type of this instrumentation, and the atomic actions. For example, these atomic actions can be like cut the human tissue, hit the human tissue, burn the human tissue, for example. Now we're gonna go with the mixed reality. Mixed reality is a space where the interactivity of virtual reality and the visual power of augmented reality are mixed. We have a fact with this that in Mexico, the school UNAM, performed the first mixed reality surgery in December 2020. On the notice that I read, uh, said that the students use the technologies of Microsoft, such as the Microsoft HoloLens 2 of virtual reality, of augmented reality, sorry, and the remote assistant of the Dynamics 365, every tool of the Microsoft company. Finally, we go with the part of robotics. Uh, what do we do when we are games? When we are playing some on some console like Xbox, Atari, PlayStation. What do we do when we are playing video games? Well, we we, we suppose that when we are playing video games, we manipulate the some joystick and some buttons to control what's gonna happen on the screen. This is similar case to the robotic surgeon. Okay, the doctor manipulates some joystick and some buttons of its console and control what's gonna happen on the robotic arms. So this is a similar case of robotic surgical operations. In the state of the art, we have the state of the art with some historical background. On 1983, it was created the a robot. In 1985, it was invented the robot Puma 200, and the combination of those robots are resulted in one of the first robotic surgical operation in the human history. We have another part of historical background, and in this part appeared the ASAP robotic arm. This robotic arm was controlled by a voice command of the doctor. This robotic arm has a computer motion that helped to the doctor to to the part with the part of laparoscopy. Next to this, we have the Sears robot. The Sears robot on 1998. This robot was so important because with this robot, it was the first remote surgery on September 7th, 2001. This surgery was called Lemberg operation. This Lemberg operation was a complete surgical operation carried out by a team of French surgeons located in New York on a patient in Strasbourg, France. This using telecommunications solution based on high-speed services and sophisticated mechanisms of the Sears robot. So this robot it was so important for the history. This robot has three robotic arms. Every arm has 4 degrees of freedom, and obviously the computer motion will to help the doctor. Here comes a great revolution that it was the appearance of the first robot Davinci, the intuitive company. This robot it bears the same name as Davinci's armor. This Davinci's armor simulates the movement of a human body. So this robot Da Vinci from Intuitive Company contains a console of command control, uh, contains a processing center of image on high quality, on high definition, and contains obviously the robotic arms. This robot has the configuration of master slave. The master is the doctor, the surgeon, and the slave is the robotic arms, the robot. Next to this, we have the Davinci Xi. This Davinci Xi has the technology of positioning by a laser ray for the robotic arms. Uh, Also, it has the technology of multi-quadrant. This technology lets to the doctor control the robot in every of the four match quadrants. This DaVinci Excite, this robot has the force back control technology. This technology is specifically used in this robot in the medical sector. Some surgical processes with Da Vinci are the general surgery, the bariatric surgery, the urology, the gynecology, the thorax surgery, and on pediatric surgery. Other robot that we can call other robots that we can call is the medical micro instrument. This is not a robot. This is a micro robot. Let's think about it. This robot has a diameter of 3 millimeters long. So it's so small. Other robot that we can call is the Titan Medical. This Titan Medical had an ergonomical station. And other robot that we can call is the Senhance robot. This Senhance robot has a star in this presentation because it's special. Why is it special? because this robot has the technology of tactile sensation of human tissues. Imagine the tactile sensation of human tissues in its joggings of the robot. So it's amazing, this technology. Now we're gonna have the benefits. On the side of the benefits for the surgeon, we have an enhanced spatial field, superior dexterity, the access to how to reach place to the surgeon. And on the side on the patient, we have some points like more precise surgery, less risk of infection and blood loss, earlier discharge from the hospital, less scarring and shorter recovery, and significantly less pain. Less pain or painless compared with the traditional surgery or even with the MIS surgery. Here we have a fact that the USA keeps the hegemony over the world with more of 1,300 robots. This is the country with the highest number of robots. Um, the robotic surgery is not a dream; it's a fact. With these numbers, we can say that the robotic surgery is not a dream; it's a fact. It's our present and in our future. Someone said that the robotics are so perfect and are so beautiful because the robotics are the reflect of ourselves. So, final comment, I I would say that that the robotics are the present and in our future. So we have to prepare for this present and for this future. And that was all of my part. Many thanks for your attendance. Many thanks for your attention. Thanks for the Boston Healthcare Technology User Group community for this invitation. And here it is my social media if you want to contact me on Instagram or if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn. Well, here it is my social media. Thanks.
Hi, Jorge. Wow, that was amazing. I can't even tell you how much I enjoyed that presentation. And I learned so much too in just that short, 20-minute time. It looks like somebody's even commented. The best part is the doctor who controls the robot only needs training. It's part of the integration. Wow, that's really cool. And thanks for that, Ural. And I to that point, I was thinking another benefit of this as well is that, correct me if I'm wrong, but with some of these robots, the way they're engineered, the doctor doesn't have to be in the same room, right? They could be potentially even maybe in another building or another country doing the controlling the robotic arms. Is that true, or is that science fiction? Like, is this a possibility in the future, or can we do this now?
No, it's a fact. It's true.
Nice.
This is a great benefit of the robotic surgery. The doctor uh, can be away of the room.
That's
So
amazing.
this is a
The
great
other
benefit. Uh-huh.
the other thing sorry, not to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was fascinated by I think it was the Seahans robot as well. The fact that it could sense the tissue, when it was doing the surgery. This is fascinating. I know now in robotics, this is some of the latest technology where you can have these robotic hands that can actually through machine learning and AI, they can actually get a sense of, well, in this case, it would be tissue. I didn't know they could do it with, with patients and tissue, but I have seen demos of this here in Boston where they have the robot arm doing the Rubik's Cube, and sensing where it is in the Rubik's Cube. But that's that's far more impressive. You know, the one that can sense the tissue. And the other thing I really like, sorry, go ahead.
It's impressive that technology of the tactile sensation with the joggings of the robot.
Yeah,
We can the surgeon can touch the 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 human tissues. So it's
that's pretty
amazing, this
cool.
technology.
It reminds me of, you know, Microsoft just made an announcement last week about their new Surface devices, and they have a pen, a new pen, and when you draw with the pen, it feels like it has tactile sensing as well. Like it feels like you're drawing on paper. Excuse me, now instead of just the computer screen. Now, again, this is far more impressive to see it in healthcare, but it, you know, when you were describing this is what, you know, I was thinking of the Surface presentation last week. And the two more things I mean, the entire presentation was great, but another thing that stood out that I really enjoyed is when you were talking about the micro instruments. That's pretty fascinating.
Yes.
As well, that we're heading in that direction.
This micro robot it's so small. I
Yeah,
comment that has the diameter of its robot.
yeah,
It's 3 millimeters long. So it's
that's
so small.
amazing. I like this, especially now that I'm getting older and stuff. I want them to be as small as possible in case I need surgery. This is great.
Yeah.
And then finally, the one last thing that I also thought was fascinating when you were talking about the introduction of the VR with the surgery as well, you know, using devices like the Halo device or, you know, whatever VR device it might be. That was, I thought that was interesting as well. And do they already have examples where this is being done, where people are using a VR interface that controls you know, and also controlling the robot? Do you know if anybody is doing this today, or is this something that we are working on now?
Well, yeah, the technology of Microsoft, the Microsoft HoloLens too. This is a clear example how they mix reality with the special glasses.
Yeah.
Superimpose the digital information on graphics. So this is an example of the Microsoft technologies. I don't know any example of this. Just that of the
Yeah.
Microsoft technologies of HoloLens 2.
Well, that was
And the
amazing.
Microsoft HoloLens 2 can be up. Okay.
I'm sorry, I lost you there for a minute. The
Sorry.
HoloLens. No, no worries.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
I
So,
I
go
was
ahead.
saying
Sorry.
that this Microsoft technology of HoloLens 2 can be applied to
Nice.
multiple areas, like the industrial processes in the assemble of the cars.
Yep. Yep.
With the motor, with all the parts of the car.
Yep.
This is a use of this Microsoft HoloLens 2.
See, so it's fair to say that if they're not doing it now with surgery, that this is something we most likely will see eventually as we keep enhancing, making the technology better. I would think.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
amazing. I just, again, Jorge, I can't thank you enough for doing this presentation first. Second, I want you to know that it's very inspiring, you know, to listen to you give this presentation. I'm so thankful for the Student Ambassador Program and other programs like that are, you know, giving folks like yourself an opportunity to get more visibility in the technology industry. And it really is. I'm not just saying this. For me, that stuff like this makes my day. Like I was just looking forward to this presentation, and it was even more interesting than I expected it to be, if that's possible. And so again, I can't thank you enough for being here. And I'm excited to continue to work with other students in the program and have you back as well anytime, amigo. So thank you very much. Thanks. Cheers.
Thanks, and thank you very much for your attendance and for your attention.
Thank you.